Welcome to this week's episode of Your Stock Request for the 27th of December. Hi, I'm Michael Gable, Managing Director of Fairmont Equities. Your Stock Request is a weekly video where I take your requests and analyse the share price chart for you. So today we're looking at Fortescue, Xero, Harvey Norman and Woodside. Just remember, any advice here is general only, and just make sure you do share this video on social media. Now, starting off with Fortescue, so this is a weekly chart. Let's zoom in a bit more here. So we can see that it bottomed out in September and has managed to head higher. So obviously outperforming the broader market, which has fallen away during that period of time. If we just zoom in just a little bit more, these sequence of candles look quite bullish, so we could see a very nice sort of bounce off the lows, a few retests of that low, and then it sort of started to make a bit of headway. What I've noticed is there is some obvious resistance near 425, so it did hit that, but instead of falling away rapidly, especially in I guess the broader market falling away, it's only just sort of come back slightly and is managing to congest under that. So as soon as the market turns positive, I think Fortescue would be ready to crack this level, and if it cracks that level, I reckon we're going to see a decent rally higher. Xero, so we'll move to a daily chart. So this is showing it for the last 6 months. So it peaked in August, and it looks like we've had a 5-wave decline. So it looks like that's finished up, and again the broader market's fallen away, but this tech stock has actually managed to head higher, so that's quite positive. Sort of nice rally here off the lows, just sort of congesting above that low, so it's all starting to look fairly bullish, in my opinion. I think a low's in place, and I think this is ready to rally. Now, initial targets, I guess if we were to have a look at the Fibonacci levels, I'd expect it in a bullish case to initially rally to that 61.8% level, which is around $46. And if we just move that tool out of the way, we can see that that's going to be an obvious resistance level. So from here, I'd be targeting that $46 region. Okay, next one, Harvey Norman, weekly chart, last few years, trending down since 2016. $3 here, it managed to bounce there a few weeks ago. But what I've noticed, I'll just zoom in a bit more. So what it's done is it's bounced, and you can see this sort of intra-week price rejection right on that prior swing low. So that's a negative sign for it not to sort of overlap there on a weekly basis. So I think it's going to come back and retest that $3 zone and probably fall through it. So if we zoom out, you know, potentially down here is what we're looking at, but I think a breach of that $3 level could see it sort of really fall away and really start testing the next set of support levels underneath. And finally Woodside, so we've got, so it looks like, you know, if we try to hook up these previous lows, that's where we are now. Yes, it's fallen quite sharply into that level, but it's done that before and managed to bounce just as sharply. So what I'm looking at here is divergence on the daily chart. So we're looking at a daily chart now, just zooming in for the last year. So we could see that RSI, daily RSI, bottomed out here in October, back when Woodside was trading at 33. So while it's fallen under $30, the RSI is still at a higher level. So divergence on the daily should lead to a bounce. And we could see a lot of volume here sort of capitulating at the lows. So I think there's a good rally about to set up in Woodside. And what I'd be targeting So it's quite interesting if we have a look at, even if it just goes back to the 50% retracement, which again seems to have a few turning points on it, so that's a bit of an obvious resistance level. You're looking at sort of the mid 34s, so I think there's a decent bit of upside here, but I think it could even extend beyond that, to be honest. So Woodside at a very good support level. All right, well that's it for this week. If you have a request, send it through and I'll try to include it next week for you.